Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy MC Fire. We are coming at you again with the market recap on Monday. It is currently 6:07, a little bit before actually market open. So we're gonna get right into it, guys. I hope you guys watched the Sunday video. Put it out a little late. We might start putting those out a little bit earlier, but a lot of goodies there. Those things for the Sunday video kind of are good for the entire month, looking through kind of looking forward for the whole month. So don't worry about that. It's fact that it was late. There was some setups in there. The XLK, the XLC, you would have caught those probably Thursday, Friday. So you really didn't miss much, right? Nothing for market open for you to be like super overly concerned about. There is some major good stuff in there that you definitely need to go watch that. But let's kind of dive right in. So starting out, we're gonna zoom in here, kind of peel in a little bit, and as you guys can see, what this is essentially is the forex calendar for this week. We're gonna cycle it forward though. We can actually get this week, January the 5th through the 11th, right? Um, Going through, there's not too much for the US. We do have the JOLTS report, JOLTS jobs report on tomorrow. So not anything that's happening today that's red, right? Not too crazy today, right? So Tuesday, look out for Tuesday. Look out for unemployment claims. That's pretty big for Wednesday. And then Thursday we're free. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's pretty good. And then average hourly earnings and non-farm employment change on Friday, right? So if you're a day trader, most of the time you're probably not day trading for Friday anyway. Um, Tuesday, Wednesdays are the days to be watching out for that, right? Looking around Tuesday time frame, 10 o'clock Wednesday time frame. You have the 8:15 and 8:30 ish time frame, and then the FOMC meeting minutes on 2 p.m. Right. So shout out to the FOMC and making everybody's life super easy. If you know anything about the FOMC, they definitely control what's going on here with your Fed meeting or your Fed interest rates, right? Interest rates super important. So think about that. The probability that the interest rate won't change from 4.25 to 4.5 extremely high, right? It's about 90% according to analysts, as put in by Jerome Powell. He's cutting the amount of interest rates that he will be doing. Instead of going from 4, it's going down to 2. So keep that in mind. It's kind of big news. It could change though. We've got a new administration coming in, mixing things up. So we could see that potentially could potentially stay the same, right? So yeah, current meeting is scheduled for the 29th of January of 2025. So be looking out for that. Okay. We're gonna throw the chart up here and we'll make it to where you guys can pretty much we just want to look at price action as of right now. Don't worry about the stuff on the left. It's basically for me to click through if you can't see it. But you don't have to worry about it. Because essentially I'm just gonna bring it to the front of the class. So cycling through the major indices right now. We've got Ethereum up here. We've done really good on Ethereum. It's probably one of our best performers. That's why we're bringing it to the front of the class. Held it for a very long time. Wealth is kind of a measure of time more as a measure of resources. So when you're talking about wealth, if you can buy something and hold it at a good price, that's kind of what you want to do. If you notice, Bitcoin and Ethereum are really smoking oakum right now. They're doing really good. So as we start to get above that psychological level of 10,000, then it could be off to the races. You see this setup candle print here. People really didn't get paid. The Fed share candle on the 18th was a couple days before that setup candle there, and then it's currently above that, looking like it wants to go ahead and push forward, right? We can almost put that level in here. Put this level in for you guys so you can see it, but essentially yeah, definitely looking like it wants to push from there back to highs, right? So I can almost expect to see Bitcoin highs, if not going higher here pretty soon. This administration has made it a point to say, hey, I am going to be a friend to this new store of value, which we call, cryptocurrency. So seeing potential highs doesn't mean it has to stay there, but it does mean that there is potential for a rocket to the upside, and it's currently doing that already in pre-market. Most of the market is kind of pushing pre-market, as you can see. Yeah, kind of neutral, could be bullish going into the future there. We also have we're going to look at the ES, which is essentially SPY, right? Pushing also in pre-market. You can see that not really shy about it either. So really powerful move to the upside. These are futures, so they trade 24 hours essentially. And if we go back to our charts there, looking pretty good. We told you guys that in the ES, right, has a potential to definitely push the upside, but we wanted to get above that halfway point on the Fed chair meeting candle on the 18th. It has since done that, right? And so your setups would be something in like the XLC and the XLK, which those two components make up a huge point of a SPY. We also probably need to look at XLF as well. So we'll do that now. But beforehand, we just want to take a look at the fear indicator. Our VIX, handy dandy VIX, is down on the morning. So far on the morning, it's been pushing down. So we like to see that on the market. If it's going to rally, we want people to feel happy and jovial and everything's fine. And so that's exactly what this kind of represents to us moving forward. And you can trade this too, by the way. A lot of people don't. There's some strategies out there for trading the VIX. It's a good instrument. To because if you notice, let's guys take a peek. It has its own ebbs and flows, right? But it pretty much you pretty much gotta, like, when it pops up, taking puts on the VIX is pretty healthy. It doesn't stay up there for long. So when it pops up to like the 50 range or even the 30 range, people can put puts on it and it'll work out pretty nicely, right? But you still got to trade like everything else, have a stop loss, all the good stuff. All right, let's go to XLK, XLC. There we go. So far, so good after hours trading. Now, remember, this is one of the setups we put out, I think Thursday or Friday of last week, right? Thursday or Friday of last week, major pushes in XLK. So, already. So not very shy about wanting to push, and we're pushing, I think, up into weekly levels. So if you're looking at the chart, it's already up towards this weekly resistance right here. So breaking of highs is already on the table. We could look at XLC, see the same thing. We did get XLC. We have exposure. We have already have exposure to XLK, right? Same kind of thing here. Pushing higher. So I believe it's in the let's see here. What are we talking? Yeah, it's like 98. So it's not pushing as strong as the Qs, but at 98.25 has definitely pushed way above its closing price. That was around 97.86. 97.88, excuse me. So definitely has made strides to push about another 20 40 cents there. So that's pretty good, right? So we should be looking to open higher on the XLK. We already have exposure to the pushing higher on the XLC. We already have exposure to the XLK, so we're good there. XLF, we need that to push as well for to see SPY to continue. XLF having no problems out the gate, pushing. You see a lot of volume here on the XLF, so look at that, pretty insane. And that's good. The major players in all three, we can go look at. We can go look at the major players in all three. Let's go look at one of the major players in the XLK, NVIDIA, right? Really big, strong move there. Meta with the XLC, right? Really strong move following through Meta as well. And I guess a major player, Bank of America and JP Morgan Chase, right? Really, really, really good strong pushes there, right? Kind of after hours on Friday, kind of went flat and then really steamrolling here. We could see it kind of gap and go. There might be a little gap fill So look for some rotation down in the morning, and then maybe it pushes. But looking really good for your SPY right now. This is SPY, and what you're seeing basically is it's going to test, I believe, the rotational support up here. That's my theory, and if anything, it pulls back a little bit and starts to push, right? Because you will have a gap essentially from close of Friday to open of today. So if it's gapping, then a pullback or a halfway pullback might be in order, right? So don't be surprised if at the open it gaps and it tries to fill that gap and then starts pushing again. Totally well within the realm of normal. But the fact that it's even pushing is pretty powerful, right? We like to see that. It bodes well. We kind of went through some of the setups um on the Sunday meeting, but we can kind of go over them again. We got ADP here. Not really much to write about ADP other than a potential trend chin change. So watch for rips and look to short those. CEG has already kind of made its move. Charter, right? We brought him to the front of the classroom to look at our amazing trade about 2 months ago, but has since popped into this rotational area where you're looking at, you know, uh, 361.20 down to 345. Okay, so that area where it's kind of getting sandwiched in between support and resistance, it could break through that. It's not a very strong support level, okay, or resistance level. I mean, we're drag it out for you guys. You can see it. Um, but yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. Okay. Uh, E you got ETN, right? So again, same thing here. The setups are a little late, but remember, we had the Fed chair, and so the market wants to wait for that to kind of blow over and the market not to completely capitulate. Okay, a lot of people have not. The financial news has been telling people, hey, don't really sell off, don't sell off, don't sell off. Just because there's a slight scare, just because the Fed chair said he's cutting rates from 4 to 2, that doesn't mean that there's something extremely bad in the market. As it stands right now, he's trying to get inflation down. Yes, that's a counter inflationary narrative, but the reality is um he can't keep the rates that high for that long without breaking something. So he's trying to avoid doing that. So that's what that is, right? We don't know what that is. It's not inflation, that's for sure, because that's still at like 3%. So you've got also, let's go actual silver, not Silvergate. Excuse me. Slash, yeah, slash backward slash SI. Yeah, silver futures. So those are kind of those if anyone who trades silver and gold and stuff like that, that's kind of trading waters pulled back from highs a little bit. The good news though is don't see this going anywhere anytime soon. You might do some pullbacks here, but the reality is silver and gold, I think they're going to be around to stay in an inflationary narrative. So you got to be careful if the Fed chair is saying, hey, I don't really want to cut rates, but he's still cutting rates. There's something going on where he almost has to cut rates. It might be the servicing of the U.S. debt that could put pressure on him to cut some rates. That could be it. Oh my goodness. Are we back? Video back? Are we back? Let's see. Okay. We're kind of back. It's just we're gonna get our screens back the way they are. We're having technical difficulties, guys. It's not me, I promise. It's being weird. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So we'll throw it back up there on the screen there. Yeah, for you. Yeah. So anyways, like we were saying, sorry about that. I hope it didn't mess up too much stuff. Technical difficulties do happen, but we are back. Essentially, right, if we have an inflationary narrative, right, and inflation didn't hit its target of 2%, Okay, it was getting down close to it, but he said he wasn't going to cut rates until it hit 2%. It got close. Okay, so what does that mean? That essentially means that him cutting rates has to do with something else. And if inflation is still a factor and you're cutting rates, you're going to exacerbate that. So silver, gold is still in play. So you got slash GC here, boom, uh, still in play there. What the heck? Stop, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Something with the connection. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just sitting here. Okay. All right. Okay. We've tested all the plugs. We've tested all the plugs. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I am not that guru. Okay. The technical expert on the video graphics. All right. So crazy is, like we were saying, if we're exacerbating the inflationary narrative by cutting rates, stuff like gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum is going to be a lot more attractive to people. So just keep that in mind. Slight pullback is what it is. But as you can see right now, gold, right, GC futures is looking threatening to the downside. So we're going to trade what we see, not necessarily what's in our heart. For now, we're gonna definitely look at that potentially for, hey, if it starts to trade to the downside, is there a setup in play to go ahead and pull the trigger if it takes a rip? Like if it starts dropping, we are going to short the rip for sure and catch some of that on an early trend change. We don't know how long that stuff takes to play out, right? Sell offs in silver and gold for temporary euphoria, right? But if you are exacerbating inflation, what will happen is what typically does happen. Asset classes go up, houses become more expensive, cars become more expensive, gold, silver, the price of goods become more expensive. That's just kind of the way it works, right? So, um, so we've got those things in play there, right? We also have we talked about these guys. We'll zoom out here, right? Zoom in. You have some of these guys that are in play, right? Really, it's more moves have already kind of taken place when you talk about risk to reward, right? You want to be a little bit closer to what's this channel. We don't necessarily use it as a trigger, but it could be kind of a form of like saying, hey, there's buying pressure here. So let's ride the momentum, but still have a plan, still trade accordingly. You got corn as well. Corn has been kind of playing us a little bit, but there is a setup candle currently in corn in an uptrend. So you could take we could take a stab at corn one more time. But it is what it is. GEVO, one of our favorites. Let's see if it's pushing on the morning. I think it is. I think it cracked the $3 level there. Already up 60% on GEVO. So this is just exacerbating that, kind of hitting our mark there. So we'll be looking to take some profits on the morning if we can see if it stays up here at market open. Market open is about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So GEVO profits coming here pretty soon. HTGC, HGTC here. What do we got? Essentially, you're in an uptrend, setup candle. So crossing above that, a little extended. It's more rotational. It's extended from the moving average and it's rotational, right? And I think we marked that for you guys here. So at the 2065 mark, down all the way to the 1822 mark. That rotational, that's where I'm looking for it to bounce and fail to. I'm not really looking necessarily for that because we have other momentum plays that are we're looking forward to. JOBY. Again, blowout candle there, 3 ATR, very wide moving averages. There was some opportunities to get into this puppy on our setup down here, right? Not looking to get into it as it's super wide. Rivian on the board, been a minute. RIVN, So shout out to it. It's more trend change and then confirmation blowout, right? So look to protect yourself. If you already are in RVE or IVN, it trend changed, then pulled back, then exploded forward. That's kind of what you want to see. We love that those rotations there. So nice little pullback, going making higher lows and higher highs. We are now in an uptrend. Shout out to Rivian. If you're in it, take some profits, make a decision, or stick to your plan, however you want to do it. Natty gas, it's a little bit of the same. Would be afraid. Yes, there's setup candles here, but this pullback is very sharp, man. It popped up there and pulled back pretty extreme. So I'd be interested to see if this really has an opportunity to continue that, or natty gas has been in a very prolonged downtrend for a very extended period of time. So don't, you're not out of the woods yet, Nancy, when it comes to uptrends, right? I would look for it to even break this recent or this previous major pivot, right? Because you're putting in double bottoms here. You had a nice rip, and so you cracked above this pivot. But let's see if we can keep the momentum going, putting in maybe a higher low, and then we'll see if we can we'll see if that happens. Then you got we got about a minute, 2 minutes on the market, guys. Super excited. Where else can you come and have a low barrier to entry for wealth vehicle and get to do it every single day, right? You don't have to wait. You can find a play and get into it today, kind of deal. So you got wheat in a downtrend, prolonged downtrend, blowout candle here, right? Blowing through support. So kind of watch out for that, right? But when you're looking at wheat here, you got essentially a lot of potential ways to get in this play. It was a hot minute here. Negative downtrend here starting on the wheat. And then this rip is a really good opportunity. You would have got stopped out on this one, but this one would have paid you handsomely to the downside. So that setup candle working out really good, right? No trigger to entry here, no trigger to entry. Well, there is a trigger to entry here. That's where the stop out came from. And then this one, same thing. You if you take the puts there as it breaks, stop out at the high, you get paid. Boom, big booms, baby, big booms. We love it. Also, you got XLB. Last but not least, got XLB here. Really more of a buy bias kind of setup, right? XLB, I think it might be still selling off here. No, there is some buying happening. So this would be a good look, maybe a potential buy biased, only because of how cheap it is in price, right? But still put a stop accordingly, right? This would be more of a long-term deal. We'd want to see it at least get out of the gate, but if it's continuing to fail, we can get it lower. We'll just take the small hit and keep going there. So yeah, it's one of those things where if you're looking at the weekly chart here on this side, um, really, if it gets back above here and it gets going above these major pivots here, then I think we should be fine to get back to highs or whatever. But not really looking for it to continue down here. If it does, we could get it at 74, 74.49. So market is open for been open for the last 8 seconds. Guys, that is our video. Kind of pretty much covered everything. We're gonna go ahead and close some of our GEVO position. But thank you guys so very much for joining us. We love you. Keep tapping in the market, high energy, high octane for sure. Things to come. So you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the flip side. MC Fire. Peace.